This new Rammstein album, it's not their best work, but it's not their last album. Zeit starts out very surprising with 3 consecutive rather slow songs, with Tränen being a standard Rammstein anthem with nice lyricism, Zeit being the best song on the album easily, and Schwarz not working as well as Zeit. It's on many levels just a regular Rammstein song, which is not bad. Their bass level is like a 7 to 8 out of 10. But Schwarz starts a trend for this album, and that's do the bare minimum of what Rammstein fans want and add one special element. And those songs are sometimes worse than a 7 out of 10. The bare minimum is the chugga chugga riffs, the ambiguous lyricism, nice synth work in the background. None of this is bad, but it's very reminiscent of all their earlier albums. Sometimes they add special stuff like the choir on OK, the admittedly nice piano in Schwarz, or the autotune on Lügen, the traditional German music on Giftig. This really makes this album sound formulaic. Now, having a formula is not bad, but it appears on some of these songs that Rammstein are bored by their own music. Till Lindemann doesn't sound like he is passionate at some points. It's not that bad if you only look at the performances on Zeit, but compare it to their self-titled album and the energy they had on there's a huge difference. Lyrically and thematically, this album is a lot darker than its predecessors. Rammstein have never shied away from difficult topics, and they don't do that here either. We have a critique of the male gaze on Dicke Titten, which, yes, means fat tits. We have sexual assault on Meine, Tränen. There is a toxic relationship on Giftig, a critique of fear culture on Angst, a very pessimistic outlook on relationships on Lügen, a critique of beauty standards and plastic surgery on Zickzack, depression on Schwarz, and lastly transients on both the title track and the closer, which I will already say is not their last song. I'll explain that at the end. You might have noticed that I left out OK, and that's because it's about sex without a condom. No deep meaning. I looked for it. Feel free to correct me in the comments. In my opinion, there is an almost equal number of songs in 3 categories here. Okay songs that are a little lackluster compared to their entire catalog, standard Rammstein songs that are just exactly what you'd expect, and outstanding Rammstein songs that are surprisingly fresh and interesting, or a really well done version of the formulaic ones. In the first category, we have the 2 weakest songs on the album, Zickzack and OK, which are both okay, but I will probably never go out of my way to listen to them. Zickzack sounds uninspired musically, and Till Lindemann sounds bored, while OK is the definition of a formula with weird lyrics that absolutely don't fit with the rest of the vibe of the album. Then there's Angst, which is a little better, but still less than expected. It's trying a little too hard to stir up controversy for free marketing. We all can see what you do there, and while it's lyrically definitely the best one in this category, the songwriting is generic, and I swear they used this riff before on Keine Lust or something from that era. We now go to the standard songs tier, and that one has Dicke Titten, which is musically not very out of the ordinary except for the pre-chorus. That one's awesome, anti-traditional German music. Those really elevate the song, and while I know it's a critique of the male gaze, you can also hear that they really wanted to make a song where everyone would then scream Dicke Titten out loud. Schwarz is on par with Tränen, 2 songs that sound a lot like Reise, Reise, Rosenrot era, nothing crazy but really good Rammstein songs. Lügen is a special one that you either hate or love. My girlfriend hates the autotune. I think it's awesome and works well with the theme, especially the emotional finale where he screams that he lies to everyone, even himself. I love that part, but I understand that it can get annoying quick. In the really good tier, we have Giftig. Instrumentally, it sounds a lot like their old stuff, and Till Lindemann really sounds energetic, emotional, and invested in a song on this one. Song also works really well lyrically. It's, for me, the closest that they've come to the classic bangers like Du riechst so gut or Du hast on this album. We also have the closer, Adieu, in this tier that tries to sell the idea that this is their last album really hard. Great song, emotional end, and then there are the 2 tens left for me. Meine Tränen, a heavy-hitting emotional storyteller about sexual assault by a toxic mother that works astonishingly well, and lastly Zeit, which really is an encapsulation of the vibe of the entire album. Everything will end, melancholy, dark aura, all of that stuff. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Is Zeit the final Rammstein album? I don't think so, and here's why. This is Rammstein we are talking about. They are known for countless big gestures and controversies. Don't you think they would try to go out with a bang and a huge announcement? Sure, if you take a look at the lyrics on this album, you will get a sense of goodbye and very dark feelings of departure and transience, but personally, I think this is the way of dealing with the pandemic and how it humbled us. It's not about their departure and their transience as a band, it's about our transience as humans. Zeit is not so much a goodbye album as it is a pandemic-influenced, mature take on modern society by Rammstein. This argument works for all songs except Adieu, where they literally say goodbye, one last song, but this is not the first time they ended an album with the feeling of it is over now, look at Ohne dich or some parts of Ein Lied. This is nothing crazy new. I personally think we will get one more album rather quick in the next 2 to 3 years that is going to be marketed and will be their last album. So all that being said, my rating for this album is a... Wait, what's that? Only 3% of people who watch my videos are actually subscribed? Come on now, the button's right there. Just go ahead and give it a little boop. Now I feel like a YouTuber. Anyway, my rating for the new Rammstein album is a very strong 7 out of 10, maybe a decent 8 out of 10 on a good day. Let me know your rating in the comments down below. Check out this really cool ranking video for Shinedown or this video right there. See you, bye.